There's one thing that comes up to my mind when I think about Cyberpunk 2077, and that is the word disaster. And no, I don't mean it because the story is bad. No, because actually, in my opinion, the story is pretty good. But it's mostly everything surrounding the game and the company of CD Projekt Red. I truly believe that apart from the devoted CD Projekt fanboys that are immediately rattled the moment you even speak bad about the game or the company, everyone else in the gaming community can tell you with no shame at all that the launch for Cyberpunk 2077 is probably one of the most, if not the most disastrous launch in gaming history for any AAA game ever released. And even though the game sold over 8 million copies at launch, basically meaning that CD Projekt Red made back every single penny they spent on developing this game, many people have basically shared their frustrations for this game because of how buggy and broken it is, to the point where many gamers feel robbed, and honestly, rightly so. I mean, the company of CD Projekt Red had literally the most ridiculous restrictions for any reviewers I've ever seen in my life. Basically not letting them show any of their own footage that they have captured so that these reviewers can't show the bugs of this game, and basically made it specifically only for reviewers to play this game on only PC, and restricted access to console copies to avoid showing the world how shit this game ran and looks on a PS4 or Xbox One console. This action was shamefully deliberate from the company, which shows that without a doubt, CD Projekt Red lied and false marketed their game, leaving the worst possible taste in consumers' mouth about Cyberpunk 2077. And honestly, that is such a shame. And what makes this matters worse is Sony actually recently, a day before I even post this review of this game, issued a statement saying that Sony will no longer sell Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation Store, and for the first time ever, refund the game to anyone who has bought Cyberpunk 2077 for the PlayStation. This has never, and I mean ever, happened with any game I have ever seen in my life, and this just shows how bad the situation truly is. And honestly, this is truly such a shame because the story of this game is actually pretty good, and many people will miss out on that because of how unplayable and half-baked this game sadly is. And in this video, which will be spoiler free just in case, I will tell you guys first the good things about this game and what I enjoyed the most. The story of this game is pretty good, like I said before, and I love how everything you do in this game has consequences for what happens later. Whatever you decide to do or say can affect certain things in the game, and I love that CD Projekt Red did this, and they just did it perfectly. I really appreciate the effort that they have done with storytelling. I really like it. And honestly, I think the developers truly nailed this, honestly. And the music in this game is truly just perfect for the setting of this universe in Cyberpunk, and it got me 100% immersed. What is really good is that I have complete freedom to just travel and just see every single inch of Night City, and it's truly different and unique no matter where you go. And honestly, that's a technical marvel. And experiencing the different things you can do in this city is something I have never ever seen in any open world game, and it's truly an accomplishment from CD Projekt Red. I really like what they have done and how much they dedicated to just make this city feel so good to just travel and see everything. Night City is truly a beautiful and chaotic place to be in. And what I love the most about this game is that a good chunk of the side missions are actually pretty amazing. They are so well done that they can actually be main missions in other open world games. That's how good these side missions are. This game has truly one of the best main and side missions in any open world game I have ever played. And honestly, this is just so sad because shamefully, this is where all the positives end for me. Honestly, this whole game just pisses me off because this game has one of the best missions ever, a great soundtrack, and a beautiful night city that makes you want to explore the whole thing, just to be destroyed by all the hideous bugs and crashes that shamefully it makes this game unplayable. Also, the gameplay is just so bad in my opinion. Shooting in this game feels so bad and sluggish, fist fighting is hilariously bad, and it just feels awful. And driving in this game is truly next level bad. I don't even want to talk about that. And I think this is just mostly a problem for open world games in which you can drive a car, because almost none of them have good driving in it. So I guess that's what we expected for Cyberpunk, and that's what I was expecting. But it's still so bad. It is just such a shame that we're in 2020, close to 2021, and that this is still an issue. Shamefully, when you spend so much time basically on the gameplay aspect of a game, it has to at least feel decent. And I cannot say that it does feel decent on Cyberpunk 2077, which is shamefully just truly disappointing. And I guess we just have to talk about the graphics. And honestly, this game, the graphics, it's a hit or miss. In some sections, it looks like the best game I've ever seen in my life. In other sections, it just does not look like a game that was released on 2020. Honestly, overall, the graphics are good, just not as good as many of us were expecting. And I played this game on my new LG CX OLED TV, which is the best TV you can buy in the market at the moment for movies and gaming, and it just doesn't look as good as how I expected it to be and how basically a lot of people expected it to be. I tried this game on a PS4, PS5, and PC. And yeah, there is a major difference with the console and PC versions, but shamefully, not even my OLED TV could make the console versions look as good as games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2, which are, in my opinion, still the best looking games in gaming history. And it's such a shame that Cyberpunk couldn't at least match those games in that aspect. And just to put the rotten cherry on top, the constant bugs and crashes I've experienced in this game truly is just unbearable. And it makes this game dead in my eyes. I have never in my life seen a AAA game this buggy and that crashed on me so many times, to the point where I was even scared that this game was going to brick my PS5. Honestly, guys, I kid you not. Every time I was enjoying Cyberpunk and just getting immersed in this experience, I was just pulled out of the immersion because of how broken this game is. If I'm not immersed, no matter how good the story is, no matter how big the city is in Cyberpunk, I am just not going to enjoy the overall experience. I honestly just should have listened to my gut and just waited until the next gen versions were released and all the bugs and crashes were ironed out. Because now my first impressions of Cyberpunk 2077 are just forever damaged, and now I just have to even see if I want to replay this game again when the next gen versions come out. I tried to just basically love this game. I tried so hard to just accept its flaws and just not pay attention to it. But when you just keep losing immersion all the fucking time, there becomes a point in which you just basically see no use into just trying to get immersed anymore, because this game will just continue to pull you out every single fucking time. It honestly sucks that a great story is just damaged by all the bad this game has. And I have to say, even though it pains me to say it, Cyberpunk 2077 at its current state is truly one of the most disappointing games I have played in such a long time. I honestly did not expect at all to even talk bad about this game. Many people, myself included, were thinking this game was just too big to fail. And wow, were we proven so wrong. This once again just shows how having unhealthy high expectations to the point where people were even treating Cyberpunk like it was basically going to become the second coming of Jesus can truly destroy the whole thing. I hope that this is the biggest lesson the gaming community ever learns, because the whole situation is an absolute disaster. If I have to rate Cyberpunk 2077, I will have to give it a 6 out of 10, because what it does right with the story, the city, the music, and everything else, it does it perfectly. But it loses 4 solid points because the performance of this game is so unplayable at times. It breaks immersion all the freaking time. Honestly, if the game had no bugs, or just some bugs, of course, that will let me get immersed in this game just to see the city and just to get completely immersed in the game, I honestly would actually give this game a 8.5 or a solid 9 out of 10. That's how good this game has potentially. And shamefully, it's just damaged by all the shit it has, man. It's honestly just a sad way to end 2020, one of the best years in gaming. Like, Cyberpunk was supposed to be a generational defining game for open world games. It was supposed to be at least a great game, and shamefully it just fell so short because of how it was launched and the conditions and just the bugs and everything, man. It's such a shame. This game could have joined a great group of games that was released this year. We had Ghost of Tsushima, we had Persona 5, we had Final Fantasy VII Remake, and say what you want to say about The Last of Us Part 2, there's a lot of people that actually like it. We had Doom Eternal. I mean, the list goes on great games that came out this year, and Cyberpunk could have joined these games, and shamefully fell short. And that's honestly a surprise. Like, I never expected to ever say this. Look, this game is a beautiful game, but is severely handicapped by the disastrous state it was launched in. And even though I know the developers are not in fault for this, because this is more of the higher-ups problem of being greedy and impatient by basically wanting to release this game even though it was half-cooked, but I just honestly can never forgive the lies and manipulation of CD Projekt Red in not letting the world know the state of the game and honestly trying to steal our hard-earned cash on a broken-ass game. That is truly unacceptable, and I hope that this serves as a lesson to every developer out there. No longer will the gaming community ever accept shit like this. Delay the game as much as you want. If it's not finished, don't publish it. Just finish the game. Give us the best game you can actually deliver, and just don't care about what other people say. If people are sending you death threats or whatever, these idiots don't understand how hard it is to create a game. And honestly, this has destroyed the reputation of CD Projekt Red. And this is such a shame, man. You don't see Naughty Dog, you don't see Rockstar doing this. They finish their game, they polish it as much as they can. It doesn't matter how much they have to delay it. They have it done, and it's playable, and it functions, and it's usually a great experience. It immerses you. It does what it has to do. Cyberpunk 2077 is not that, shamefully, at this moment, and that is such a shame, and it's something that should never ever happen again. If any other company ever decides to pull what CD Projekt Red did with the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, we gamers will not accept at all what these companies will do, and these companies will suffer the consequences like CD Projekt Red are facing at the moment, with losing lots of money in value in stocks because of their bad move. We gamers have a voice. Don't you ever forget that. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and hit that notification bell to get notified on my future videos. Destroy that like button because it does help the channel out a lot with the YouTube algorithm in promoting this video, and share this video if you agree with my message on this game. Hope you guys got your refund for Cyberpunk 2077, because for sure I'm getting my refund, and I will purchase this game once everything is fixed. I am not playing a single second of Cyberpunk 2077 because I honestly do not want to have more headaches of just trying to reload this game because of how many times it crashes, or just how many times it has the funniest and just game-breaking bugs I've seen in a video game for a long ass time. I would recommend you guys to stay away from this game as much as you can and purchase it when they fix this broken game. Stay positive, stay safe, keep playing, and I'll see you guys next time.